You know, when I talk about slavery, people automatically think that we're talking about the States. We're talking about somewhere else. It cannot be Canada.
Overlooking a 100-acre farm.
I want people to see this familiar place in a strange way. I want them to understand that there's way more to the ground that we're walking on. The dead may be silent, but they're always present. My name is Camille Turner. I'm an artist and I'm based in Toronto. The work I do is all about home and belonging. In particular, the people of African descent who have come here before me in this place that I find myself in. This is Miss Canadiana, a project that brought me a lot of attention. And this is the oldest Black institution in the city. 11 out of 25 of the founding fathers were slave owners. In fact, they were allowed to bring slaves here duty-free. I knew that there had been a Black community here, and most people have no idea that they existed. And so this whole project is about telling their stories. I was born in Jamaica. I came here to Canada when I was 9. I actually grew up in Hamilton. It's a place where I've experienced way more open bigotry than anywhere else. In Canada, there's this kind of racial innocence. This idea that race doesn't matter, we don't see race, but that's not really true. There's so much of the past that's been willfully forgotten. This is an ad that appeared in the Upper Canada Gazette back in 1806. It says, "To be sold, a Black woman named Peggy, aged about 40 years, and a Black boy, her son, named Jupiter, aged about 15 years, both of them the property of the subscriber." A lot of these stories, they're not marked on the streets, they're not in the history books. So you have to really go looking for them. I've been thinking a lot about archives lately, and how can we recuperate the humanity of people who've been enslaved when, in the archive, they are seen as property, not as people. And so I wanted to use art and performance to really step into this history. I'm not sure how you're going to do the libations, but if we can be a part of that, then that would be really great.
So when we did libations, we had a song that goes
Oh,
with
lovely.
it, right?
Yeah.
So you're
sing it?
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it goes, calling out the ones who have come before us. Known and unknown.
This walk that I'm doing, Black Grange, it's basically a walk that opens up the archive.
Grandmother, sister, brother.
So that people can see what has happened, so that we will never repeat what happened.
The power still remains ashe, power to make things change.
We of the African diaspora have traveled through the universe for millennia. No matter where we find ourselves, we arrive knowing that Earth is our home.
The way I set up the piece is to think about a time in the future when the archive is open, when things are not silenced or hidden anymore. And so we represent that future. And we're coming here to do this tour from that point of view of that future. Let's leave notes to honor the hard work and dedication of Toronto's Black parents who became activists in order to ensure that Black children could go to school. I love work that draws a frame around the audience. It's convening a bunch of people and creating a way for them to participate. Like many people held in bondage, Peggy and her children were subjected to constant surveillance. Threats of violence was used to control them, and Peggy was thrown in jail for asserting her self-sovereignty. She is the reason that we're here today. Let us lift our fists to salute Peggy and her defiance. When you think about enslaved people who resisted, they're standing in a place where they are ostracized from the community, and yet they can stand there and see something different and go towards that. That's Afrofuturism. The memory of the Black Grange lives on. May this memory sustain you. You have to be able to see the world differently in order to really create a new world. The thinking comes first before the doing. So to me, it's a mind shift that's really necessary.